Hi, I just realized that my nails totally match the book. Kudos to me for totally coordinating. This is great, right? This means I'm ready. Okay, here we go. Hey guys, it is Jessie, and today I want to share a really great read with you, and it is called First Comes Love by Emily Giffin. And before I go too much further, I also want to do a shout out to Booksparks. Thank you so much for the incredible May box. I will leave the unboxing link below, so if you guys missed that, you can definitely check it out. Otherwise, there are tons of good books. There was 5 books in there total. This was just one of them, and this book will be released on June 28th. So I'm so excited to be sharing this with you today, and I hope you guys will all pick this up and enjoy it as much as I did. First Comes Love centers around these two sisters, Josie and Meredith. Josie is in her late 30s. She's a school teacher. She's still a little bit irresponsible, goes out partying, and just doesn't seem to be totally grown up as of yet, where Meredith is a lawyer. She is settled down and married. She has a kid, but neither one really truly seems happy. At least Josie is enjoying life, but Meredith totally seems to be struggling in every aspect of it, and so immediately I become attached to these characters, especially Josie. From the first few pages, we're immediately thrown into a family tragedy. We find out that Josie and Meredith lose their brother Daniel just one day after he turned 25 and 3 days before Christmas. So it's extremely hard on the entire family, and we know that everybody deals with grief differently, but the way this family handled it was awful and kind of sad, and it just really was a whirlwind of emotions. Life is really hard, especially when you're dealing with this grief, and I know everybody deals with it differently. Josie seems to be doing totally okay in this book. She puts up this front, but we realize that she's got these internal struggles that are really eating at her, and after 15 years passes, the sisters are still arguing about everything that happened the night of, and these moments that we have no control over that really do affect the rest of our lives. So Meredith is definitely struggling. She reaches out, she sees therapists, she talks to people about it, and yet she's still really having a hard time dealing with the fact that her brother is gone. And all this family is trying to do is cope and move forward and kind of just deal with things and try to be happy and continue on with their lives. There's so much tension between Josie and Meredith, and they could not have been more different. But the whole time I kept wondering, okay, when are they going to somehow come to some level and connect about this and get on the same page and really open up to each other? But it was just so palpable, and it was just incredible to see the dynamic between the two. I kept hoping that they would come together, like I said, and just open up, be honest, and kind of get through this together. Meredith ends up running away to New York City to kind of get away from just life and everything, and it just became too much, so she leaves, goes to New York City, and Josie gives her a call after a couple weeks of not talking and says, hey, we just really need to talk. There's something that she really just needs to get off her chest, and it seems like Josie's really got this great character development and growth, and she's trying to move on and become a better person, and she wants to get this off her chest, and the first person she really wants to tell is her sister. So I really admire Josie for all of this and think that this is such a great step in them being able to move on. Once Josie and Meredith have a talk, yes, they end up in yet another fight, and things just kind of blow up in their faces, but I really think this was the first time we saw that this family's gonna get some closure and some healing and finally just kind of moving forward with their lives instead of being in this limbo or asking, these what ifs, and just kind of playing life safe and just in one kind of motion and plateaued. And I think this really allows them to open up and kind of move forward, be happy, enjoy life, and still honor their brother. One quote that really stood out to me was, not only does love come first, but in the end, it is the only thing that remains. I could not agree more with this. I connected on so many levels with this, especially if you've dealt with a tragedy like this. We did have a death in the family fairly close to Christmas time as well, so immediately this one just punched me in the gut, ripped out my heart, and like I said, this was just a roller coaster of emotions, and I loved it. I thought it was so beautiful and well written. The plot did not hold back at all, and that's where I told you it immediately jumped straight into this family tragedy, made you feel a lot of things, and I love that it focused on a lot of family as well and those dynamics that we have with everybody. I know everybody deals with things differently and no family is going to be perfect, but the way that they handled things eventually, it was really great. It was beautiful. I know I've said that quite a few times already, but it really was. I really enjoyed it. The only thing that really did seem to annoy me was Meredith. She was such a rough character to like in any way. She was just constantly negative, always down about everything, starting fights with everybody, and just unhappy. So I found her really hard to connect with, and then towards the end, as the healing began, you really got to see a different side to her, which I think was so great. So she had a little bit of growth in there as well. It just took a lot longer to get to, and I just wasn't as fond of her. But Josie, totally, I loved her. She was just amazing. I saw a lot of myself in her as well. She was just really strong and independent, and when she decided she wanted something, she was not afraid to go after it. She had me laughing. She had some romances in there as well, which were really a nice touch, and I did just keep wondering about the character Gabe, so I really, really wanted things to happen there, but I am happy with the way things did kind of unravel. So I think overall this book, just like I said, was just so many emotions, and I struggled to find how I really felt about this because it left me with a book hangover. I had such a hard time figuring out how I really just could justify everything that happened and put it all into words, and I really struggled, but I loved it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend it. I think this was such a great read, perfect for summer. Yes, it makes you feel a lot of things, but that's one of the things that I really, really, really loved about this book. Everyone is going to get something different out of this book, and it is so great, so enjoyable, a really good summer read. It was easy and enjoyable and fun, and yes, it makes you feel things, but that is the beauty of this book. I really hope that you guys pick it up, and I would love it if you would share with me as well, because like I said, everyone's going to get something out of this, and it's going to be so different, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So it does get released on June 28th. I will leave a link below to where you can pre-order this, and I just want to say thank you again to Emily Giffin for this fantastic book, and to Booksparks for sending it my way. I cannot wait for its book birthday and for everybody out there to grab a copy. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I will see you guys soon. I have more book reviews on the way. Like I said, there's loads of goodies from Booksparks, so thank you, and I will see you guys later. Bye! And I hope you guys will pick up a copy and share it with me. Like I said, I really want to hear what everyone else thinks of it and gets out of it, because I think it could totally, you're saying the same thing over and over again. Like, stop it.